yo. Fuck up with them, that's so try to hide it, yo. Down that shit, I pop it, it's exciting, yo.
What if I was in Dragon Ball? Today we discussed the concept of what if I was in Dragon Ball. I will be using Beat's character design from Dragon Ball Heroes as me in the story, as I felt like it was fitting for this what if. I would also like to say I'm going to attempt to power scale in this video, as it will be my first time trying to power scale, so with that out the way, I hope you all enjoy this what if. We begin this tale in the middle of nowhere. As I wake up, I look at the clothes on me. I could recognize these weren't mine. I got up frantically, wondering where I'm at. I notice I have a tail as well. That could only mean one thing. I was in Dragon Ball. I had so many questions, like how did I get here? What age was it? How do I get home? But for the life of me, I couldn't remember how the hell I got here. Well, if I was going to stay here and try to find a way home, I would have to, of course, get stronger. First, well, that means I'm going to have to find Master Roshi and have him train me, since at this point, I'm as much help as the farmer in the beginning of Z was. I would go make my way to the closest civilization I could find. After walking for what felt like days, I managed to stumble my way to West City. This is perfect. I could probably find Bulma and have her help me find Master Roshi. But I would soon see a flyer, and it was the last day of the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai World Tournament. I would make my way there and arrive at the end of the final fight, Jackie-chun versus Goku, with Jackie being the winner, and then Goku flying off looking for his grandpa's Dragon Ball. As Master Roshi and Krillin head back to the island, I would stop Master Roshi and ask him for a minute of his time. "Whoa there, Master Roshi, he has a tail there, just like Goku," Krillin shouted. Master Roshi would step away with me to talk. I would explain to him that Goku and I aren't from this earth. We are a race called the Saiyans. "Well, you know, that awfully explains a lot about the boy," Roshi chuckles, but then would ask me where I was from, and I would then explain that I woke up far from here with no memory of how I got here or anything. But I would also keep from him that I know that I am not from this world and that they aren't real and are famous characters from a Japanese manga. After careful consideration, Master Roshi would accept me as his new student because he knew that Goku had the most potential out of everyone he knew, and most likely I would have that same potential too. Master Roshi, Krillin, and I would head back to the Kame house and begin training with Master Roshi, starting me out from the basics. Then not too long into my training, one day Goku would come to the Kame house with Bulma. I couldn't believe it. It was Goku. After fanboying out and introducing myself, I would go get Master Roshi and explain that Bulma and Goku need a submarine to go track down a Dragon Ball. Krillin would go with them while I would stay back and keep training with Roshi, since I wouldn't be much help at this point. But my training would soon be interrupted again by the Red Ribbon Army. But I was prepared for this, and I had informed Roshi about this, as he was confused on how I would know this was going to happen. But with my help, we can beat the Red Ribbon Army, and therefore we wouldn't get tied up, and Goku would be able to go after General Blue a lot quicker. Krillin and I would resume training, as Goku's fight with the Red Ribbon Army would not change much. But Goku and Appa would head back in need of help to find the last Dragon Ball. They would all soon make their way to Fortune Teller Baba's house, as I refused to go and stay to keep training. And even though I could have told them where the last Dragon Ball was, I would keep this information to myself so Goku would still have that moment with his grandfather. I would also stay because I have a lot of training to do for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai World Tournament coming up. As in the anime, Goku would head off to train on his own for the next 3 years, as Krillin, Yamcha, and I would keep training with Master Roshi. Throughout these 3 years of training, I would grow a special bond with Krillin, Yamcha, Roshi, Launch, and hell, even Bulma. Over this time, I would have finally learned how to do the Kamehameha wave, and you bet your ass I was hyped as hell when I did that for the first time. I was also able to learn the Thunderous Shock Surprise from Roshi, and was able to convince him to teach me the evil containment wave just in case we would ever need it in the future. Also, I'm using this name because it's easier to write in the script. Master Roshi would be very confused at first as how I know that move, but doesn't think much about it. I would also train my tail so it also isn't a weakness when it gets grabbed. Also, before we enter this tournament, I want to discuss our power levels. As in the start of this video, I feel like I would have a power level of 4, but after my training and my insane potential as a Saiyan, I think I would be able to get around a power level of 170, as Goku's power would remain the same since much did not change from the anime with his training. I would also feel like Krillin and Yamcha would become stronger since they also had me there to train. We now make our way to the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai tournament. As we arrive, I couldn't contain my excitement, as I would make my way to my first tournament and I would finally be able to hang around Goku for a while and be able to explain our Saiyan heritage. Goku would be amazed by this and also saddened when I explained of the Azaro transformation, and this would be when he would figure out he was the one to kill his grandfather. As the quarterfinals would begin, I would take the Wolfman spot and would also stop Tien and Chaozu from changing the fights around and try to tell them that they don't have to be this way, because, of course, I would want to try to make sure Tien and Chaozu become a good guy. Since the fights weren't changed around by them, the fights would go me versus Krillin, Roshi versus Tien, Goku versus Chaozu, and Yamcha versus Pamput. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. Krillin and I are pumped to be fighting each other first. Don't be expecting me to hold anything back. I'm going all out on you, Krillin chuckled. I wouldn't want it any other way, I chuckled. Krillin and I would land blow to blow against each other. By trying to conserve some of my techniques for the future rounds, I would soon eliminate Krillin. It's okay, Sphinx, cause I'll get you next time, I promise. Jackie Chun and Tien's fight would go relatively the same it did in the anime, with Jackie jumping off of the tournament with Tien slowly going after him. Next up is Goku versus Chaozu. This fight is a little bit tricky for Goku because of Chaozu's telekinesis, but just like Krillin did, Goku was able to eliminate Chaozu. Now is Yamcha versus Pamput, with Yamcha not having to try and being able to get an easy victory over him. Next up is the semifinals, with first up, Tien versus me. Me and Tien would begin to go at it, with Tien having the slight upper hand on me, but with Tien's techniques, he can best me, but not without me giving a fight. Tien would be impressed at all, I know, but after a Kamehameha battle, Tien can eliminate me, but I was able to wear him out a little. Next up is Goku versus Yamcha, with them having a similar battle Goku and Krillin had, but Yamcha was ultimately defeated. But hey, at least you don't have a broken leg this time. Now is the final match, Goku versus Tien, the fight everyone has been waiting for. Long into the battle, Chaozu tries to aid Tien in battle by trying to catch Goku with his telekinesis, but Tien would put a stop to it, as Tien wants to win on his own. Even though Goku and Tien have been fighting for a while now, and it could seem like any one of them could win, Goku comes in with the victory. I feel like Goku would win this from my fight with Tien draining him quite a bit. Tien would also be able to come to his senses and leave the Crane School, with Chaozu also joining, thanks to Master Roshi and myself a little. Well, this is where we're going to leave things at. If y'all want another part to this what if, hit that like button. Until the next one.